So let's start using stack and unstack method. Stack method flip the layout of data frame by moving the whole level of columns to rows or whole levels of rows to columns, and the inverse operation is called unstacking. In simple way, you can say that the stack function is used to change the row into the column and column to the rows wise. Now see the example. So this is your simple data frame. See guys, this is your original data frame and this is the your pivot table that you use pivot method. Here the main column is score and grade, and we use column is equal to subject, and the subject column contains two subjects, account and eco. So again it is divided into two parts, account and economics for score and economics for grade columns. There are some missing values also, because like record number first Asna students, that has only account subject. So in the economics column here is missing values, means none. Now we are going to use stack method. See this, we use simple PV, means that you have created your pivot table. For that table, pv.stack method. Execute the program. See this, this is your pivot table and this is using stack method, that is used to flip the layout of your pivot table. Here, because you have two main columns, score and grade, so it is divided into two columns, score and grade, and the index is name, that is the same, and these two sub columns, that is accounts and economics, that is converted into the column subject, account, eco, account, eco, counts. Okay, and these are the main columns that has some value, means the innermost columns, that is accounts, economics for the subject column, that is converted into the columns. You can use the nested stack. What happens then? We use here one more dot stack function. What happens? It means first method converts the innermost columns for the subject into the column, and after that we use one more stack function. It means the first column, that is score and grade, is also converted into the columns. See this. This is the pivot table, and in the first stack function, that is innermost column, that is subject, this is converted into the columns, and after that we use again stack function. After stack function, then the base column, that is score and grade, this is the outermost, it is also converted into the column, means for the account subject there are two rows, score and grade, and this account subject for Jack, score and grade. This you can see the previous also, print pv dot stack function. Now compare both the outputs. See this is the first stack print the output, and this is the second where you have nested stack function. In this pivot table you use only single stack function so that the innermost column is converted into the column, but in the second you use 2 times stack function. Means first stack function is the for innermost, that is this, and the second function for grid and score is converted into the rows. So this is the example of stack function for pivoting. Our next topic is pivot table, using pivot table function. We have already discussed about pivot function, but now we are going to use pivot table function. Pivot table is the generalization of pivot function. Whenever you have duplicate value, you must use pivot table. And see the example in the coding window. Firstly, we have to create a data frame. We use here CSV method. Means a CSV file is already created in my computer system. I will show you. This by using Excel program we have created a spreadsheet. In the file type is CSV, whose column is name, test, subject and marks, and these are the records. See the records, some records are replacing by in the names column there is the value that is repeated. So we have converted these spreadsheet into the data frame, and to convert this we use here read CSV function. We have already discussed about read CSV function in the previous video, pd.read CSV, and this is the path where your CSV file is stored, and this is the your CSV file name, and this is the simple data frame message, and print the data frame. Now see the output. See here, this is your actual data frame that is created in the spreadsheet, and we call that file from the Python. You can also use here the dictionary method, or you have created your data frame here by the use of dictionary or scratch method. You can create, but we use here CSV file. Now we are going to use the pivot table function. You can use here more than 3 parameters inside the pivot table, but at least 2 parameters are compulsory. This is the simple message finding the student wise sum of marks column. Then df.pivot table and index is equal to name means student wise and sum of the marks column. Then we use here aggfunc aggregate function is equal to sum, that is predefined in your Python library. We simply use here sum column because in this data frame there is only one such column that have some numeric value, so the sum is applied only the mark column. Here no need to give the column values, so simple, we use two columns, index is equal to name and aggregate function is equal to sum. Now see the output. See, this is your actual data frame. We use pivot table index is equal to name, that is this name wise. See here there is only 4 names, means C. Joseph, Sareen and Abhishek and Ragwani, and this is repeated, means these are the data that is repeated again and again, means in this entire data frame only 4 names are given. So the index is Abhishek, C. Joseph, Ragwani and Sareen, and we use the next aggregate function is equal to sum for the marks column. So for the Abhishek means this, the marks is 67 plus again Abhishek. For economics 82 means 78 plus 82 and again plus 65 is equal to 300. And for C. Joseph, the sum of the accounts for semester 1, that's 78 plus 79 plus 62 plus 77, that is 296. Now here finding the student wise sum of marks of each subject. This is different. We use here student wise means index is equal to name. Marks of each subject means we have to give here the column name for that particular. So we use here column is equal to subject because in the question that is given of each subject means column is equal to subject and aggregate function is equal to sum that you have to find. Again see this message, finding student wise means index is equal to name, each subject means column wise means column is equal to subject and aggregate function for the sum. See here, this is entire data frame and this is the sum of the marks column according to subjects. Then index is equal to name, that is given name, and column is equal to subjects, that is account and economics, because here the subject is accounts and economics. So in the marks it is divided by 2 columns. Now for Abhishek, the total of account subject means, see this, Abhishek semester 1, that is accounts marks 67 plus, and again Abhishek for economics, that is 82. So this is here added here. Again, that is Abhishek for accounts semester 2, that is 65. Means 65 plus 67. See here the output. And for the account means the sum of marks is divided into two parts, one for accounts and one for economics. Means for the first student Abhishek, the total marks of accounts is this and the economics this, and the second student C. Joseph obtained the total marks in account subject of semester 1 and semester 2 140, and for the economics 156. So this is the sum of subject wise, student wise and subject wise. In the next line, finding the student and subject wise means now we are going to use multiple column for the index, student wise and subject wise. Mean of marks column means we have to find the mean of marks student and subject wise. So we use here index is equal to, and within the list we passed here two parameters, name and subjects, and aggregate function is equal to mean in place of sum because we have to find mean. Note that no need to use here the column because here is column is missing. The question is saying that student wise and subject wise. See here, we use two columns, means index is equal to name and subject. So for the Abhishek there are two subjects, account and economics, and the mean of the marks of all the accounts section, that is 66, and for economics 84. And the second student C. Joseph had two subjects, account and economics, and the marks of these subjects we have to find mean. This is the mean, and so on. Thanks for watching.